Hey everyone, this is Abe from Fast Fab. I want to have a quick discussion around welding tables. I'm not new to welding tables. I've had one for about 5 to 8 years. I don't know, I feel like I've had one forever. But I get a lot of friends and fabricators ask me about mine a lot and sort of, if it's worth the cost, where I use it and how I use it. Now, I understand the idea around this is that you get a welding table, you get your jigs, you get your pins, you get all your attachments, you get all your tooling, and you plot something out so you can do a gate or a fence or a table or something in repetition multiple times. And sometimes it's hard to invest in that because you might not do that. Well, I don't do that either. I do a lot of one-off stuff. So I use this way different than I guess most people would. I use it for the fact that it's a dead flat surface. It's also a massive heat sink. So if I'm welding something in 4 or 5 mil aluminium and I want to keep it dead flat, I might literally clamp down some corners to try to dissipate that heat through the table and through the work. I might have something that I want to keep straight, so I might have a 15 or 20 mil aluminium block for welding a manifold. I'll drill some holes in it, clamp down my header plate on there and clamp that down so I know nothing's going to move around. It's a fantastic addition for reasons you won't think, and I want to take you through some of them. So let's get some tooling out here, let's get some jigs, let's get some stuff that we might, I might use it differently than most, but I want to show you how I use it and how it's made my life better. Now, on the addition of that, OzCut, this is an OzCut abrasive table. This is my newest one, and by far, I think my nicest. They've actually sent us some stuff. So let's open that up and see what they've sent us to get people started. Let's rock into it. So, you want to stop there? So, I know they've sent me a couple of clamps or a clamp and a couple of pins. I'm a little keen, Jesus Christ. Tell you what, lucky I'm not good with opening boxes or anything. Okay, so I've got a right angle clamp. We've got a quick clamp. We've got a groovy little pin. These are actually pretty tricky. So the idea of all these tables is they all have I forget, it's a 26 or 28 mil hole size, and the idea is that they fit in. I understand a lot of the cheaper ones, like 10 mil thick, 12 mil thick, 6 mil thick, you've seen them from a bunch of places. I understand the idea is the same thing, or you reach underneath and you put a nut on the other side. I don't want to be like this, but they are a bit shit. The idea of this is you can really put it in, and it's amazing how much clamping force you can actually get on something. It's actually incredible. So incredible that I don't use things like vices, or I've got a drill press in the corner. I don't use it anymore because I just clamp things down to the table and use this almost as my drill press. Let's grab some stuff. I want to show you how much force you can actually put on one of these clamps before things goes bust. Not that I have the tooling to make it go bust without using something like a forklift that I probably shouldn't show on video, but let's get some stuff out. Okay, so this is a heat sink that I've got for a header plate for an exhaust manifold. And this is what I mean, like the fact that I can come over, I can clamp it down. I know it's a big block, of 16 mil or something, but trust me, you put enough heat into this stuff and they do warp. But the fact that I have this 16 mil block bolted down to a 60 mil bit of steel really dissipates the heat. So I just don't have anything warp or twist or deflect. I know I can take my time and spend way longer welding it, but I'm also a man that needs to get stuff done in a timely fashion. Because of this, I've got 3 of these tables currently, but one of the important things around this one for me is that the casters actually roll around. I've had a lot of other ones where to move them around, it's more than a one-person job. These have big rolling casters on them with a lock on them, so I can move it around, lock it. It's currently locked, obviously, yep. But I can very easily move it around to where I want to. Now in my workshop, my place isn't massive and I try to utilize every bit of space I have, so that's really important to me. The thickness, I just want to quickly go over that again. You go with something with a 26 mil hole, the leverage you have on it is really insane. I do a lot of roll cages and stuff like that, or I did in the past, and the idea is that I've been able to bolt down a roll cage diagonally across here with a pipe on the table and literally hang off it to, you know, get 2 or 3 degrees back out of a bar that might be overbent by a degree or two. And with a thinner table, you're just going to bend the other table. And all that's going to happen then is that you're not going to have something flat, which means next time you go up to it and you make a fuel cell or you make a header plate or you want to see something flat, it's not going to be. So I understand you can buy a lot of this tooling for it to do the repetition work. It's not what I use it for. And even though I don't use it for repetition work, I can't live without it. Coatings is another thing to cover. This one's steel with a nitride coating. A lot of people ask me personally how I go welding through it. Look, a lot of that comes down to, I find, more surface finish than the nitride coating. I've got some cheaper tables. I'm not going to talk about them here, but this is so smooth and it's hard to capture on camera, and I'll try to, but you can't really see any machining marks. Like, it's almost fun just to wipe your hands on. Being so smooth means the contact patch over a bit of aluminium or a bit of steel or something like that is going to be far better than if you've got big, heavy little grooves in it, because you've got to think them little tiny points, the arc's going to jump. And I found that with my other table, I would have arc strikes and stuff like that way more often. It's something I never really thought about. You know, the price of one of these tables, another table, it's not a whole lot, but the end result is if you're welding a fuel cell or something like that and you strike an arc on the corner, it's going to wreck that material and that job a little bit too. Yeah, you clean it up with a flat disc or whatever. But if you bought one of these tables, you want to do good quality stuff. You want to up it. So there's that. Obviously the nitride coating gives you rust resistance and everything as well. I don't ever MIG on my tables, I TIG, but I do understand the idea is that you can MIG on these, it's less splatter resistant, so all your balls and everything on MIG falls off. It's not a whole lot of money. You've already spent a bunch. I recommend it. It means also you don't have to sit here and oil it and clean it and WD it. I don't want WD or oil on my tables because I don't want that to be on my work, because most of my work is stainless steel and aluminium. These are a fantastic thing. I think Ozcut abrasives have done a great thing keeping them in stock here in Australia. I'm not here to rep them. I'm just excited about the products that I bought off them. And when I see something great that's done here and kept here in Australia, I like to share it and give it a hype, like just a big shout out. So I think you guys done a great thing. And in fact, I'll be looking to replace my other table, at least that I TIG off every day, to one of these. I'll do some quick highlights of the videos of, you know, the surface finish and stuff like that. But if you have any questions about welding tables, or about, you know, you have ideas about how you think you can use them and what you think it might help you with, if you want to ask me, just reach out. I've been playing with these for a long time. Come down, play and touch mine. I'm here in Victoria and Pakenham. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Just real quick, and I'm sort of dragging on, but I just sort of want to get the differences between a lot of these tables. And it's something you need to look out for. It's not all of them, but some of them. As I said, I've got 2 other tables, and none of them I can put this in every spot, because these under cross beams are put in the middle. These guys, as I said, once again, I'm a little impressed. They've made it so every hole you can put it down all the way. Of course, every hole you can put them down a little bit, but they hit the cross beams underneath. I like the sinking. I like the effort.